July 2nd, while I'm thinking about it, no meeting on Thursday. It's Independence Day in the States. So I'm not working. So I will write it down. No meeting on Thursday. There will be a meeting next week. There won't be a meeting on the 14th of July, just for one, but it's on a Sunday, so it doesn't matter. I don't know when the German National Day is actually, or the English one, by the way.
It's the 3rd October.
Okay, and in the English one, Dave, is there an official National Day in England?
No, not really.
Well, you don't know, actually.
No, it's probably closer to Memorial Day in May, okay. I think. Yeah. We're the ones that were causing trouble all over the world.
So that status here. Orchard 1, nothing new. Orchard Core 25th. Typo, and then adds more features back that were lost due to the removal of Newtonsoft. So all the dynamic stuff that George added. Dynamic array serialization. JSON converter. A custom converter. This one.
Yeah, this avoids to serialize the wrappers itself.
Okay.
Just skips over them.
Test. Lots of tests. That's good with all the values. Okay. Wysiwyg, Trumbowyg editor colors when dark theme enabled. I think we saw that during triage. Let me check what matters here. Theme manager, new resource. The theme manager registration, transient resource manager. Trumbowyg, what do we have here? Same thing. Media URL. And we had some script inside the files that is now a resource. Like this one. Trumbowyg editor colors when dark theme enabled, and there was a screenshot that shows that it was working. So now the Trumbowyg is also themed. Fix is that type feature mappings are not available during setup, apparently reverting something that you did, George, that was breaking the startup.
Correct.
So we talked about it on triage also. So reverting a change and fixing a bug that was triage 420. Fix for case when SRC is not provided. Script tag. SRC. You see those titles, they are not super useful. SRC for what? So 16368. for issue. Liquid script tag does not render custom attributes. Name PDFJS, that's this line, src PDFJS, type module, differ at depends on, so I assume that's the differ in this question, in this example, so differ and type attributes are missing. Okay, so you expect them to be rendered. That's not the purpose of this tag, I assume. Unless this is the case. Collects the custom attributes somewhere on the way to HTML, they get lost. Okay, interesting. I didn't remember. Okay, it is rendered, but probably because of what Simon found, which is that maybe if there is one of the attributes that is there, is not the case. So maybe there was an if else, and then in this case, this block was not repeated, so now it's repeated custom attributes.null for each attribute set. So I believe that if I open the file completely, is there a way to open the file completely? View file. Custom attributes, it's gathered. I remember this code now. And here we have if custom attributes when there is no name and there is no src, and probably in the else, we also need the block. Okay, that makes sense. And maybe a third one here too. Okay, so it was missing in one of them. So that makes sense. In some cases, it was not rendered. Good job. Fix JsonDynamic rated object serialization problem in Jint. So Tony fixing the serialization. Well, is it serialization? I'm not sure.
It's the same problem, but in Jint as before.
Yeah.
The wrappers should not be serialized by on its own, so they have to be skipped.
Okay. Style blockquote in Markdown editor. Style blockquote in Markdown editor. Markdown editor. Okay, so that's custom CSS for the Markdown editor, MDE. For the block quote. Okay. It's in the preview. They're in the preview mode. It needs to be rendered. It needs to be formatted.
Yeah. When you hit preview, you don't really see the styling.
Okay.
So this just makes it, I guess.
Did you check the source projects if they have actually, if we're missing some styles or?
No, it's not missing. It's that we could enable the Bootstrap plugin, okay, and it will style it with a Bootstrap. But we don't want to do that by default. So we just, because it's a admin theme, we just add those styles for the admin theme in preview only.
Cool. mkdocs update. Remove extra space in first time contributor. Okay. Hide number of items closed from discussion metrics. Okay. Just in the reports, there was a column that Zoltan didn't want to see, or maybe it was always 0. Improving community GitHub Actions workflows. Changing the title, the text, link to the docs. Cool. What else? Topics, questions?
There is a PR list if you, since we don't have Thursday meeting, if we can look at it to see if you can provide any additional thoughts.
This one, yes.
Is that one?
So
Third
this
one down.
I commented again on this one. Fix query UI.
Not that one. This one. Yep.
Allows the serialization of a base query type.
And if you want to look at that fix missing dependency, that one is marked with need triage since we have time.
Remove target. No, that's not the one. That's the okay, Control Tab because I can't click. Allow deserialization of the base query type. That's a PR. If a feature with an high query source that has been saved to queries document gets deactivated, okay.
It's because of the change to system text JSON.
Will fail because the base type query, you mean not the query type, but the implementation for the source?
No, the
class
query
name
does not have a
is
base.
Query.
So for example, SQL query inherits from query.
Okay.
And if you store SQL query in the database in the document, everything will work because we register SQL query. We map it using what is that extension that allows us to map a base class with morphing. The issue here is that if you don't register that, like if we don't enable the SQL feature, well, now the serializer doesn't know how to handle it. So it just throws an exception. So in this case, we're trying to make sure that we don't get that exception. So this PR works. The only thing is that the way how the handler works, I don't know if it's nice or good enough. So if there is a better way. So
how would I do that? Is I have an idea. Wait 1 second. So yeah, we need a custom handler to say, oh, this type is a query, so we have to detect it.
The problem is actually based on system text JSON because it's how the polymorphism works. You have to specify which derived types are allowed to deserialize. And if they are not available, you can fall back to the parent type. But in that case, it does not store. Sorry?
What's the point? If you don't have the feature, you can't deserialize the query. Done.
You can deserialize the base class as a query, that's correct. But if you reserialize that, you lose the type information of the derived type. And you can't deserialize the derived type anymore. So I added a feature that fixes that up.
I will just catch the exception and say, sorry, can't deserialize the thing, and not try to reserialize it or deserialize it. Just say it can't be done because even if it was doable, then you can't do anything with that.
But this will break the whole queries feature completely.
No, I don't think so. I think that we have queries in the document. Oh, we have one document?
We have one document with X queries. Yeah, that's the issue.
Crap. Yeah, okay. So because we have one document, we can deserialize even the other ones because we have one that is faulty. I see. So we need to skip it.
Correct. So my fix just makes query deserializable by adding a parameterless constructor. And I added a feature event handler. If you enable any feature within query source, it will go through the document and fix it up. But it's very complex for a feature that should be simple.
Yeah. So should the queries be multiple documents then?
Probably.
Another option is,
Well, we have one UI, so trying to manage multiple documents is not the best idea too, because we have one UI for all the queries.
it's okay. We can just have multiple documents of the same base type and just say, give me all the queries. And instead of having internally loading one document and taking the array of this document, which is still a set of queries, we just say query all documents, and then we still have a list of queries. So it will not be an issue, I believe.
I mean, that would work too, but it's just, typically when we have a UI, we have a single document, but yeah. And we'd have, if we do that, we still need somehow to deserialize it and
but
split the existing document.
No, then we can just skip over it.
Yes, you can just ignore the one that doesn't work, and the other ones will still work. Here, the issue is that when we deserialize the document, because one element in the array can't be deserialized, nothing can be deserialized. The full document can't be deserialized. If we had n documents, one per query, then the one that fails will fail. The 9 others, they will work. That's the difference. And when I designed it, I was like, hey, it's an aggregate root. Let's store one document. It will be simpler. I didn't think that one could fail.
So
another thing we can do, another thing we can do, we can probably put all these, all the types that inherit from the same query, put them in one project and register them always, regardless of the feature, and then.
No, because the goal is to be able to add more queries from different types, different features. No, it should not have been one document. That's it. It should have been n documents of a base type query and done. So here, other option is well, it's a document. Is it a document as in it's managed by the document manager?
Yes.
Yep.
It's a query manager.
Can we just say load the document with JSON? And then for each element, try to deserialize the element? What does the query look like?
I think so.
Just change the way it's deserialized. We could have a custom serializer. We could have a custom converter for this document.
Yeah, I thought about that, but it's actually more complex.
There is a PR that I did with that, but it caused another issue, I think. There's a PR that's tied to the issue that's closed that actually does that.
I mean, the current code in my PR is not that bad. It just goes over the document one time if you enable a feature with a query source inside and fix it. Everything else is just working by making the base type deserializable.
If you do that, then you could just do a migration and change everything to multiple documents.
Yeah.
Instead of adding more complexification to something that is not optimum, then the best fix would be to make it correct and remove the single document. We can have an index of all the queries if we want to search the queries. I don't know if we need to. Maybe not. Maybe we just need to list the queries and we don't need to index anything. Or unless there is a filter in the UI to say all the SQL queries, all the Lucene queries, things like this. I'm not sure. Otherwise, we don't need an index. We just need n documents instead of one. And to do that, the migration could take the current document and just read it as JSON in the migration and create n documents. And change the features such that it will deserialize. And we can even keep the same types, SQL query, Lucene query, and so on.
So you're seeing of having multiple document managers?
Yes. Mm-hmm. No, not document manager. Wait, we don't need, well, yes, we could use document manager, but I don't think we need document managers. We can just use SQL directly and store into the database.
Yeah.
Changes in the query manager. There's a type for that we can change.
Yeah. And then we probably do need an index because, sometimes we need to say get index by name or query by name.
Okay,
so
then we need an index. Okay, and then we could add the type in the index if we want to filter by type. Well, but it's already done indirectly by SQL. You can query by type. You just use the type of the document and done. So that will be nicer. And the migration would. So here you made a feature event handler, but it could be a migration such that coming from the previous version on startup, it would load the document, the queries document, and then create the new documents. And the feature itself doesn't.
Yeah, sure.
If it's fine with you, I think that's better.
Yeah, of course. If Mike has time for it.
And also, this is not the first time we see that. I've done that in other places. But one which doesn't matter is the content type definition, which is a single document with all the content type definitions. But this one is not an issue because it's not going from different features. But it would be nice to see if we don't have the same issue somewhere else, like a single aggregate root that contains stuff from different features. And if we delete it, then boom, it will fail.
And also, the less we use of document manager, the better. I hate document manager.
Until we completely remove it.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that something you want to do, George?
Eventually.
If you have time for it, I would be grateful.
Well, no, because this is an issue tied with 2.0, so we definitely have to.
It's not.
That's why I started working on it.
It is. It's deserializer. So we have to, before we can release 2.0, we have to solve this one.
What do you mean?
Because the UI, yeah, exactly.
But if if you disable a feature, right, and you previously stored something.
Yeah. Correct. So it's breaking.
Okay, so
we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Could a mitigation be to delete before it's deleted, it's disabled? If there is a way to handle to intercept that before it's actually disabled, to delete anything that is from this feature?
Why would you delete that? I would just.
Yeah,
I will spend time on this today and fix this one.
Thank you.
We don't want another patch. If we want a patch, we can just accept this PR and that's it.
Yeah. This one fixes missing dependencies in the shell blueprint.
Yeah, that's another one that can break everything. So we have some startup classes in the code base that are not tied to any feature. But if the module that contains these startups has no feature that matches the actual module name, the module ID, the extension, then those startups are not executed at all.
2.x, then I will accept it after 2.0 then. If it can break something, that will be safer.
But it's a little bit nasty because we have features implemented and it's just ignoring those. For example, the deployment step of Entra ID that I was trying to use.
But it's not a regression.
That's not, yeah. This is a bug.
So it's safer. Yeah, but it's safer than to do it in 2.1. If you say it can break something.
It should not, but,
yeah.
but it's deep inside the extension stuff.
I think we should take it because we already had so many changes around the same thing.
I think that's, yeah.
Okay, then if you are two of you saying you are okay with that, then.
Yeah, but look at the code just so you can have another.
I don't understand the code. I understood Persian dictionary and then.
Yeah, it's it's just refactoring a little bit, make it simpler. Yeah, not in the diff. But instead of going over the features and get the types from it, it goes over the types and get the features. And if there are no, just edit it to.
This component type.
Just if it's public and not abstract. Actually, the only change to the from the functionality side is on line 318 or 16 following. If there's no
feature, okay.
If there's no feature, it just adds it to all features of the module. So types that are not tied to any feature are now tied to every feature. And this way, the startup will find them and execute them. The shell container factory.
What would be better would be to add a test such that you know what you're doing and expecting and doesn't break anything else. I think Chantieri made a bunch of tests already on this.
It is tested, but not the new stuff. That's right.
Yeah. And that's usually simple
I can try to add that test.
I remember seeing the test that Chantieri made. It's just like, oh, let's create a fake feature. Let's add a type to the fake feature and see if the blueprint contains that. So they shouldn't be hard. If it's hard, okay. But if it's not, then you can try.
I try to add one. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I thought it's probably dangerous because now we execute code that was never run before.
What is failing in this one? So this is actually the action itself that is failing, not the code. Run action setup node v4. Node 15 not found in manifest. Fall back to the node directory from node. That should be quick just to see if it fails again. Done. Okay, now it worked. It was just a transient issue. Cool. Let's see what's updated. SDK here, Azure Identity bump. Oh, 112, interesting. OpenID connect, SPNet core, OpenID, path, OpenID core. Someone will add someone. Tony Lewis. Going down. Everything seems good. This one. So there was a new PR that was merged, and when we saw that, we realized like there is a new field, but there is no migration, so it could never work. And obviously someone filed an issue because you could not set up the site anymore. So Mike filed the PR to fix the migration for the new feature. But I was also saying, why do we need that? Like, I think it first, there are three things that don't make sense to me. There are three different PRs related to this feature. The first one was adding a target property, which is a UI thing, to admin nodes. I'm like, or menu nodes. It's almost border. I don't like it, but okay, if people want to add target to the admin node, menu item node, why not? Because these are specific to the menus. Okay. Then second feature was to add a target property to the link field. And this was even more an issue for me. Because when we designed the link field, we knew about target and we decided not to have a target because we don't want to pollute the fields with cosmetic stuff, unnecessary stuff. The field is about the content. And the link itself, we even thought having a link, just not having a link like, oh, just add a text and a URL, and then you have a link, two fields. And Antoine, I'm sure you remember, I believe you made the field. It was like at the very beginning of Orchard. And we discussed that, I'm pretty sure. I'm forgetting everything, but this thing I remember at least. So we said, okay, let's have the link field, and it would be a URL and a text. And it was the first field that had two properties. Mm-hmm. And we decided not to have anything else. And now there is a PR that added a target stuff with 3 options and enumeration. So now users have to select a target, which makes me sad. So it has been merged. Okay, but I'm not sure we should have that, because if we start having that, we'll have many more things like this that are irrelevant. And there is a mitigation, which is you can have a custom field that is an enumeration that is called the target for the thing, and then you use that in your view, and fine. It's not magic for a user to inject an attribute in their own view. So I don't see why we need that. And then the third layer of thing on this thing is that now they want to index the value of this property so they can query content items that have a field that targets a blank page or parent page or whatever. And I'm like, no. Why?
Yeah, I don't think he needs to index it. I think he needs to be able to set it like a settings. I don't think we need to index by it because you'll never be able to say, hey, give me all the fields that have, new target,
Well, that's why I asked, and they answered. Did you see that? And the answer, yes, I had a business case where I wanted to list all the content items that were open in a different window. I'm like, no, that's not, you should not filter from a UI thing. And where is the comment here? So rebuilding index fail, I need to find that. Fixes that. Where did you close the PR that you opened to fix the issue?
The other PR, yeah, I closed it.
This one,
because that one, adds an index and we don't need it.
But I linked to the comment here. Okay. So here the comment. So my question, don't we need to update the migration? Okay, and then you fixed it. Do we really need to index link targets? Index link targets like blank, parent, self. Is there any business need that query links by the HTML target? And their answer is where we use external links in our pages. Sure, where we wanted to know how and where we use external links in our pages. One example page is events. But I'm like, I see this page, and
he
I'm
can
like,
probably also, query his index with any URL that starts with HTTP, and he should be able to get the external links that way too.
Well, it's different because you have a link that points to HTTP, but you want to open it in the current page or in a separate page, a separate tab, because that's the feature, like blank or self.
Right.
That's still HTTP. It's just, do you open a new tab or do you say the local tab? My comment was like, well, when you decide to open in a blank tab, it's probably because your content needs to be open in a different tab because it has a specific flag. Like you could have a field called I'm an external website, or I need a new page. And then in your UI, you say, if this flag is true, then create a link blank. Okay. And so his thing was like, we need to list where the external links are in your page. And I believe that if you want this page that I'm opening to be only the links that open in a different page, it's not that this page is made of the thing that open in different page. This page is made of things that have to be in this page. And by the way, everything that is in this page have to be open in a different tab. So how I model that is all the things that you have in the website that have to be displayed in this page have a custom field, a flag, to pin them to be on this page. And because of that business information, you open a different tab. You don't open in a different tab to add some business information to the content. That's the other way around. So I don't see why you will create a feature for that. So, like you have a content type, for instance, person, and you have a flag called important. Okay, it's not because you link this person in a different tab that you want to find them. No, you flag the person, and then in the UI, you say, because of this flag, I open in a different tab. And then you can filter this person with the important tag. So that's why I think it's you first. Well, definitely you don't need the index, and that's just the third opinion. We should even remove all these targets, or at least the target from the field. I don't see why we have the target in the field. which is a different comment I made on the first PR that created the target in the field. And I'm sure it will be an issue because I can already see that. Like, next thing you will see, as soon as we release the feature, people will file a new PR or a new issue saying, hey, my user now can change where the link is open. I don't want them to change where the link is open. Or in my view, I define that they are all opening in the local page, but when they select the blank, they expect it to open in a different one, and I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to think that they could open the link in a different tab. No, I manage the UI. I don't let my users, I let them manage the content, not where the link is opening. So yeah.
In Orchard 1, there was a setting called target mode,
Okay.
in which you can say either blank, parent, none, and the last one is user choice. So you would let the user specify anything he wants.
And then that will be the next feature, as I said. Like, because they have that, now they will want the option. So now the field will have also options to define, yeah, just make another field. Done. And the other field will be an enumeration of the 3 values that you can select, or 2 if you just want to, because as Antoine explained, you could select which ones you wanted to show to the user. So let's not complicate the existing field to duplicate a feature we already have, which is enumeration field. You can put alongside with any link field that you want. And it will be indexed because it's an enumeration field. If you want to put something like parent blank, fine, it's your choice. If you want to put something like, I don't know, important, not important, and then you drive the UI, then you can even filter by important, not important. We don't have to replicate the same feature ever again. So I don't like it. Okay, so I agree with your PR, but yeah, I will approve. Oh, wait, dude. No, you. Okay.
Don't index. At least don't index it.
Yeah, this is just to remove the indexing here. It's not to remove the time. Yeah, I misread. Okay. Is it all you have to do?
Yeah, because he doesn't even have a migration for it. So this just causes an issue. It doesn't really. So right now, this is causing an exception. So that's, you get rid of that.
Isn't there more code to that?
Not associated with the index.
Did you look at the PR that created the index?
Briefly, yeah.
Okay, I just want to verify because from what I remember, I did option to select the target in the link field. That's different. So that's related to that, but that's the one I will not even take. Index maybe. Can I filter by creator? Add option to select. No. Add target column to the link field table. No, that's you. So can I select by contributor? Okay, cool. Added option to select. Or maybe there was the link and the index in the same PR, and that's why actually the change is simpler. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, cool. Now I get it. It was a single PR to add the link and the index, which is good. That is building. That is the site. That is the failure. And you can even make custom editors to add features like this, link field editor, and yeah, the custom field will be the option to do. Okay. Do we have tags, milestones too? None. Do we have issues? Milestones too.
What is that rebuilding? I thought that one was fixed. That first one.
That's the
Oh
one
yeah, this is it. That's the yeah. Okay.
So this one will be fixed. Good. And this one?
And this one, hopefully, I'll submit a PR to fix it too. So we talked about earlier.
Oh. Okay. Good. Good job then. And then we ship to 0.
Hopefully, because it will pass due. So
Awesome. Okay. All done.
thank you. Hey George, are you on Discord, on that Discord channel?
Not yet.
He's on GitHub.
Okay.
Should I follow?
Yeah, I think because nobody uses Gitter anymore.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not there
thank you.
either, so.
Okay.
Are you on TikTok?
Join.
If you're not on
Join
TikTok,
so we can discuss.
I'm not that sort of guy. Yeah, I will follow.
Thank you. I never
Questions?
used Discord either, so this is the first time I use Discord.
Welcome, Tony. We don't know you, so you're new. I know everyone else. So
I'm just getting started with Orchard and launching a project through Lombiq. So
what
I
is
hope to
Lombiq?
Huh?
What is Lombiq?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
come
I'm kidding. We know Lombiq.
Don't give him a hard time.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. To ask questions, yeah, feel free to ask questions if you have questions when you're at the meetings. Okay, to interrupt us and say things.
I need to learn a lot more before I can ask intelligent questions. So,
Nah.
all right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Okay. See you next week. Bye bye.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye, guys. Thank you.